بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. In today's maths class, we will start our new chapter, chapter number 3, decimal. Chapter number 3, decimal numbers. We will solve exercise 3 on page number 43. Question number 1, 2, and 3 is your homework. Keep it in mind that you have to write definitions given in your web portal before starting your exercise. Your exercise is at page number 43. First of all, we will discuss about the definition which we have given you in your web portal, in which our first definition is decimal number. Students, when we discuss about the decimal number, we said that decimal numbers are rational numbers which can be written in the form of fraction. We say that decimal numbers are those fractions or are those rational numbers which have their denominator as a power of 10. What do you mean by as a power of 10? That you have your decimal number, you have your fraction as a power with the denominator as a power of 10, means that maybe its power will maybe its value will be 10, 5 upon 100, 7 upon 1000, 14 upon 10,000. Keep it in mind, for decimal number, it is necessary that your decimal numbers fractions or decimal fractions, it is necessary that your denominator will be a power of 10. It may be 10, 100, 1000, 10,000 and so on. If you have your denominator in your fraction is a power of 10, then it is known as a decimal fraction or decimal number. Now, your next is terminating decimal number. What do you mean by the terminating decimal number? If you divide 3 by 2, if you divide 3 by 2, then you will get 2 ones are 2. 3 minus 2 will give you 1. Now, I used here a decimal and then I write a 0 with my remainder. Now, 2 5s are 10. Now, if you look towards your answer, there the number after decimal is a finite number. You have a finite number after decimal. So, we say that the fractions or the decimal number, the fractions which give you or the decimal number which give you finite number after decimal, they are known as a terminating decimal number. Let us consider another example, which is 2 by 5. Now, if you divide 2 by 5, use a decimal here. Then we write a 0. 5 4s are 20. After decimal, we have a finite number, only one number. If you have after decimal finite numbers, then these numbers are known as a terminating decimal numbers. Now, next is non-terminating decimal numbers. What do you mean by the non-terminating decimal number? Non-terminating decimal numbers are those numbers which give you after division an infinite number of division. Which give you after division an infinite number of division. For example, if you divide 2 by 3, if you divide 2 by 3, when you divide 2 by 3, you will get decimal. We use a decimal. After decimal, we write here a 0. 3 6 are 18. Then we have a 2. We have a decimal 0. 3 6 are 18. Then we have a 2. After decimal, we will use 0. 3 6 are 18. And this division will remain continue. It will never give you any number without 6. It will give you an infinite number of 6 because division is not possible. Because division is moving here into infinite. When will you divide these numbers? It will give you 0.6666 and so on. If you have infinite number after decimal. If you have infinite number after decimal, then it means that it is known as a non-terminating decimal number. What do you mean by the non-terminating decimal number? Non-terminating decimal numbers are those which after decimal give you a finite numbers. If you have finite numbers, then it is known as a terminating decimal number, and if you have infinite number, then it is known as a non-terminating decimal number. Now, your fourth is recurring decimal numbers. What are the recurring decimal numbers, beta? If numbers, same numbers after decimal, same numbers or group of numbers after decimal will repeat again and again, then it is known as a recurring decimal number. If I am again repeating that if you have same number after decimal, or you have your number is repeating again and again after decimal, then these are known as recurring decimal number. For example, if you have 0.66666 and so on, your 6 is repeating again and again, it is known as a recurring decimal number. Recurring decimal numbers are those in which numbers or group of numbers are repeating again and same group of numbers are repeating again and again. Again I repeat, decimal numbers are those numbers which have their denominator is a power of 10. What do you mean by the power of 10? Power of 10 means that these are the numbers which are, these are the denominator which are 10, 100, 1000 or any other. Now, terminating decimal number, if you have finite numbers after decimal, then these decimal numbers are known as a terminating decimal numbers. Non-terminating decimal number, if you have infinite number after decimal, then these numbers are known as a non-terminating number. Now, recurring decimal number, if after decimal your number is repeating again and again, same number is repeating again and again, then it is known as a recurring decimal numbers. Now student, here I have fill in the blanks, which is question number 1 in your book. I am explaining here how you will give the answer of these blanks. I am clearing here the concepts about your blanks. Your blank number 1 is 12 upon 24 in decimal form. 12 upon 24 in decimal form is expressed as, now your number is 12 upon 24. In decimal form, there are many methods to change it in a decimal form, but here we will use a direct division method, which is 12 ones are 12, 12 twos are 24. It will give you 1 upon 2. Now divide your 1 by 2. 1 is not divided by 2, so we write here a decimal and we will write here a 0. 2 5s are 10. So your answer will be 0.5. In your first blank, your answer will be 0.5. Keep it in mind, there are many methods to represent a fraction in decimal, but in your blanks, I am using a direct method which is a denominator. Your second method is to change your denominator into power of 10. But I am solving here direct division method for my blanks. Number 2, the decimal equivalent of 23%. Your next number is 23%. We all know that, beta, that whenever we have percentage sign, we will write 100 in our denominator. When we have a percentage sign, we will write 100 in our denominator. Percentage means 1 upon 100. In simple, whenever we have a percentage sign, we will write a 100 number in our denominator. Now, how? I will change it into my second blank is the decimal. How I will change into decimal? In denominator, if you have 1, it will show your decimal point. Now, how many zeros after 1? 2. It means starting from your unit, your number is 23. Starting from your unit, as many 0 you have in your denominator, you will place your decimal after these numbers. You have how many zeros you have in your decimal denominator? 1, 2. So starting from your unit 1, 2. After 2, in the place of by the place of 1, you will write a decimal. So your answer, the decimal equivalent of 23% is 0.23. And if we don't have any number before our decimal, then we will write a 0. So our answer is 0.23. Now your third is the percentage equivalent of 0.4 is. Your third is 0.4. In order to change our number or our decimal into percentage, first of all we will remove our decimal. How we will remove? In the place of decimal, we will use 1 in our denominator. In the place of decimal, I will use 1 in my denominator. Then after decimal, how many number I have? 1. So I will write here 10. Now my numerator will become 4. Now I have to write it as a percentage. In order to get the percentage, I want 100 in my denominator. I explained before that percentage means 1 upon 100. Then how you will change your 10 into 100? When you will multiply 10 by 10? 10 times 100. In maths, if you multiply your denominator by any number, at the same time you will multiply your numerator by the same number. Now 4 times 40 upon 10 times 100, and in upon 100 shows your percentage sign. So it will be equal to 40%. Your fourth will be the number 2.19 is expressed as the fraction 2.19. In the place of decimal, I will write 1. Starting from our decimal. In the place of decimal, I will write here 1. After decimal, how many numbers I have? 2. 1, 2. So I write here 2, 0. And write your numerator by the same. So your answer will be 219 upon 100. Or you can also write it that the number before your decimal, you will write it this fraction as a whole. How? The number before your decimal, you will write at the side, then write your number after decimal 19 upon 100. It is your answer. Number 5, 4.5555 is a base decimal. I explained you that if a number or a group of number is repeating again and again after decimal, then it is known as a recurring decimal. Now student, I hope that all the points are clear. Now move to your question number 2, which is state whether the following are true or false. 0.5 is equal to 50 upon 100. Remove your decimal and find out either your statement is true or false. Number 2, 137 divided by 10. Your first is 0.5 is equal to 50 upon 100. Now change your 0.5 in the place of 5. In the place of decimal, we will write here 1. After decimal, we have one number, so we will write here 0. Now, your number is 5 upon 10. But here we have 50 upon 100. How we will change our 10 into 100? Multiplied by 10. Multiplied by 10, 5 tens are 50 upon 100. It means your first statement is true. Number 2, 137 divided by 10. Now change your fraction into decimal and find out either you have a true statement or false statement. Number 3, 345% is equal to. In the place of percentage, we will write we have 345%. In the place of percent, we will write 100 in our denominator. Now 1 means decimal. You have to use your decimal, and after how many number? 1 2. It means 1 2. After two numbers we will write our decimal. 3.45. Your statement is, find out that either your statement true or false. Number 4, 3/17 give a terminating decimal. When you divide 3 by 17, you will get 0.176470588235294 and so on. It is not a terminating decimal. It is a non-terminating decimal because it gives us a infinite number after decimal. So it is a non-terminating. It is a false statement. 23.69. 23.69. There is a use of word round off. What do you mean by the round off? If after decimal you have your number greater than 5. After decimal you have your number greater than 5. Then we will increase our number before decimal. It is 23.69. 6 is greater than our 5. So we will have 23 as 24. If you have after decimal your number greater than 5, then you will add 1 in your number which are before your decimal and remove your number after decimal, which become as 24. Now student, in question number 3 you have fractions. You will divide them and find out the answer after division, then match your columns. It is very easy question. In all the 4 parts, you will divide your numerator by denominator and find out your answer, then match your numbers into second column. I hope student now you are able to solve question number 1, 2, 3 of exercise 3. If you have any problem while you are solving your question, then you can ask us in our Zoom classes which will held on Saturday. Till the next class, Allah Hafiz.